Hi, good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, July 30th, and it's 8:34 a.m. here in Chicago, and I think it's gonna be pretty warm today, which I'm glad. I like hot weather. But I wanted to talk about Salute to 503 and the usual suspects. I had to catch the replay of their live yesterday. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. And they were talking about several topics in boxing. But the one that I wanted to touch on is their segment of Claressa Shields. I don't think there's a wrong opinion on whether or not you think Claressa should be on a pound-for-pound list that includes men. Well, I take that back. I do think there's a wrong opinion, but that's just my opinion. So in essence, there's really not a wrong opinion, because at the end of the day, it's an opinion. But I think that Claressa deserves every accolade she has coming to her. I really do. But I personally don't think it would be accurate to put her on a pound-for-pound list that includes men. And my main reason is pretty much the same reason that I would say that for any sport. Because when you compare her stats see, with boxing it's different. With track and field it's easier, because you can argue, let's say, saying Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce shouldn't be on the same list as the fastest runners in the world, and then they have her over everyone who lost to Usain Bolt. That's not fair, because they all still had a faster time than Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. You know what I mean? Her fastest time is like 10.60. Usain Bolt's is 9.58. That's a whole second. You can roughly say that on average, that's a whole 10 meters. The dash is only 100 meters. There's a fly in here. Get out. Get out of here. Oh, I hate flies. That's a whole 10% of the track that they're running. That is a lot. And the people who have lost to Usain Bolt, they're not coming in that late. So somebody would get cheated if they would have put Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce on the men's list of top runners. Or not the men's list, but just a mixed list. Let's call it that. If you were to make a mixed list of top runners, it would not be fair to put Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce right after Usain Bolt, because she, may have been the best amongst the women. Because you put her on number 2 and then have other men who have always beaten her time, that's not fair to the men. I mean, they get out there and grind and work very, very hard. They deserve their space. They deserve their place according to their time, period. So even though it's harder to break it down that way in boxing, because it's not about time, another example, Katie Ledecky. Would it be fair to put her as number 2 right under Michael Phelps? You know what I mean? Because let's be real, she's not beating the people who have lost to Michael Phelps, So it's just not fair to put Claressa on the same pound-for-pound list as the men. And even though you can't go by time, you can go by level of difficulty of the opponents, Even people who have lost to Bud or aren't as skilled as Bud, they still have a different level of difficulty compared to the women in their level of competition, So I think that this is just my opinion. I think that we should not see her being amongst the best among women as some type of slight to her, or as some type of, blow to her, or as though there's something wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's everything right with that. She is the GOAT, and she belongs on all of the top lists amongst the women. There's no fault. There's no fault to find with that. Now mixing it with men, that's where you find unfairness. That's just my opinion. And again, I know people will disagree, but again, level of difficulty, opponents, just men's boxing is different from women's boxing. Just like men's swimming is different from women's swimming. Just like men's wrestling is different from women's wrestling. It's not the same. It's not the same, Now, somewhere where you may be able to combine the list, like, I talked about this in my previous video. Olympics has breakdancing now. Maybe you can combine that list, if you're going off of originality and style and, things like that. You can mix the men's list with the women's list. But guess what? Even with breakdancing, there are probably things that men will be able to do more fluidly because of the strength of their upper body, So I even need to be careful saying that, because the Olympics definitely separated it, the men and the women, So, I think that Clarissa being all the superlatives, every superlative you can think of amongst the women, there's nothing to find fault with there. She does not belong amongst the men, and I hope I'm wrong on this, but give her time. She'll be arguing how she belongs amongst the men. I don't know why she's not happy with, the greatness that she has accomplished as a woman. I don't, maybe I'm speaking too soon. I hope she doesn't do that. But, she's not a man, and she shouldn't be on the men's list. It's not fair. You put her on the men's pound for pound list, some male boxer is getting cheated in terms of his level of difficulty in the ring versus Clarissa's. Somebody's getting cheated, and that's not right, That's my take anyway. We gotta look out for Scrapbook's son. Maybe, because Scrapbook didn't say definitely, but, we might be seeing Pops, that's his son's name. We might be seeing Pops in the Olympic wrestling one day. Wouldn't that be awesome? He's still very young, I think. But we might be seeing Pops in Olympic wrestling one day. So guess what? I'm going to start watching Olympic wrestling. I'm going to start watching Olympic wrestling. So by the time Pops gets there, I know everything I'm looking at. So, just wanted you to know that. Start looking at Olympic wrestling, you guys. Some of you already do anyway, I definitely am going to start. Yep. Remember when I said the Germans were, I think, the favorite to win in rowing? I might have been wrong about that. I think we are, USA, but the Germans are good in, like, the equestrian. I know there's one of those water sports with the boat that involves the boat that Germans are very, very good at. And they're very good at, like, the equestrian stuff and a lot of other things too. But when I was at the World Championships, there was a German, this was in London 2017, there was a German guy standing in front of me. He was very proud of himself. I forgot what he had just gotten the gold in. Was it the shot put? It was a field event. It was a field event. It might have been the shot put because he was a big dude. But I'm still gonna watch the rowing though. And then some things I gotta replay. But yeah, I digress. Sorry. Yeah, look out for wrestling so that when Scrapbook's son gets there, we all know what we're looking at in Olympic wrestling. Because right now he's winning all types of awards and competitions. He's very, very good. So salute to him. All right, have a good day, everyone.